recording at the same time. Okay. So anyway, Honduran warrior fighting tonight. I'm not sure when he's going up. It's already 5:17 on Friday night. So hopefully he hasn't gone up yet. But if he has, hopefully he's kicking some butt. All right. So next thing I thought was kind of interesting. The other day, Donald Trump was convicted on some, I guess he got convicted for covering up the fact that he was banging a porn star. Why America needs to throw or try to convict a former sitting president on covering up that he didn't want anybody to know that he was banging Stormy Daniels is beyond me, but it has happened, and he is now dealing with that nonsense. And, I don't know why he's being targeted like this. It's not going to help if the Democrats are behind this, which they probably are. And I'll be honest with you, I don't pay attention to this stuff because I really I don't care about this shit. I'm one of those believers that it's a two-headed snake. It doesn't really matter who's in charge. They're really just in charge of us, and they got us fighting amongst each other for the sake of giving us the illusion that we have choice in this country, and I don't think we do. Either way, though, assuming that we do, if we do, attacking Donald Trump is only helping Donald Trump. It's only helping Donald Trump. Because I'll be honest with you, it makes me mad and it makes me just want to vote for him. So I don't think it's having the effect that these idiots over on the left think it's having. So, that's just my opinion. You got your own opinion. You can call the number up right here on the screen, and just keep in mind, I don't know much about politics, but I'm more than willing to get on it and talk with you guys about it. All right. I hope the buffering's not too bad. If it is, you can call anyway. Because like I said on my last show, what matters to me is that the show must go on. The show must go on. There is no excuses for not doing what needs to be done. And I hope that that's a mental attitude that a lot of us will adopt. Especially me, because I'm definitely one of those dudes that doesn't follow through on stuff. And that's something that I'm going to change about myself starting last week. I see here that the stream was just really poor. And so I don't even know if we're getting a live stream. I hope we are. I hope that you guys are able to see this. If not, I'm recording it. We'll be able to put it up on the internet anyway. Like, for example, it says here, error, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I don't know what the deal is with the internet around here. That could be the problem. Internet issues. Maybe I have to get my own little hotspot or something like that. But the important thing is I'm recording. So even if no one's able to call, and even if no one watches, what matters, even if I lose subscribers, which I hope I don't, doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm here keeping my commitment to you, the viewers. Okay, so we already talked about Honduran war. We talked about Trump. And so last week, or actually last Wednesday, I had put it out there that I was going to be running at 3 a.m. and that I was going to quit sugar, things like coffee. Okay. And I am happy and proud to report that I have kept my word and I've stayed away from coffee, except only half kept my word on the running. So here's what happened. And hear me out. Thursday morning, I wake up at 3. I even posted a little bit on Instagram. I even put together a cool little reel of me, showing myself getting up and getting ready at 3 a.m. And what ends up happening is I do the run. I go about my day. And you could imagine waking up at 3 a.m. By the time it's 8 a.m, by the time it was time to, take my kid to school, I had already been up 5 hours. 5 plus 3 is 8. if I'm not mistaken. So I'm up for 5 hours already. So you could imagine I'm already getting kind of tired, you know. I had a lot going on in those 5 hours. And then I did some stuff with my wife that we had to deal with some people, serving, basically some work that we're doing. And 6 o'clock comes around and I need a nap. I need a nap. And then I took that nap, but I ended up sleeping 2 hours, longer than I should have because the day's not over. I still had stuff to do. My wife came home pissed because, my daughter's calling me, my mom's calling me, she's calling me. No one knows where I'm at. And I'm just at home sleeping on the couch. I'm not exactly doing anything crazy. And I end up, by the way, guys, if you guys can see the phone number, even though we're live and there's buffering, you can still call in. And even if people aren't able to see you live, you can still get on the show because I'm still recording this and I'll be able to air it with an actual recording later. It could still air, it just wouldn't be live. And I don't know what the deal is with the internet here. So anyway, she tells me, and when she gets home, she tells me, you fell asleep because you ran at 3 a.m. I don't want you running at 3 a.m. anymore. And at that moment, I was like, man, you just took away my juice. Because, running at 3 a.m. is kind of something I'm doing now, but she wasn't having it. And so this morning, I didn't do my 3 a.m. run. And I was not happy about it. I was super not happy about it. And throughout the day, I'm thinking to myself, was that the right thing to do? Was it the right thing to do to not do my 3 a.m. run? And, I'm still kind of debating it. If you guys are able to see the phone number here, you guys should call in and let me know what you guys think. All that really ended up happening was just that I didn't get my daughter's clothes to my mom on time. Well, not really on time, but just they didn't know where I was for 2 hours from 6 to 8 o'clock at night. I didn't think that was a big deal. It felt like a big deal because at that time it went from daytime to nighttime, but only in reality. All right, we got a caller, guys. So we're on the Dre B. Rambo show. State your name and where you're calling from. Hello?
Voicemail, press 2.
Oh, I don't know why they make me press the number here. Let's see. Dre B. Rambo show. You're on the show. Can you hear me?
Hey, how you doing?
All right, man. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, it's Frankie. I talked to you about 2 weeks ago. Remember me?
Yeah, Frankie. What's up, my man? How you doing? From New Breed.
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm good, brother. Just having a little technical difficulties here with my live stream.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch the show. It's kind of buffering a little bit. It's all right, man.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I stay committed and not just throw the show out into the toilet just because buffering a little bit. You know what I mean?
Hey, for real.
That's what I'm saying. But, I'm still recording. So even though the live stream might be messed up, I still have it recording. So we're good, brother. So tell me, man, what's going down?
Oh, nothing much, man. Haven't been able to train much because of the wife, It's always issues.
With the wife?
Yeah, I think I told you last time,
Oh, what's her deal with you training?
Well, no matter what time it is of the day, there seems to be something else going on. So
yeah.
If we train at the 5 o'clock class, it's during dinner time. If you train in the mornings, during breakfast time. So I can't win, brother. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to get yourself I bet if you can't make the 10:30 class because you're probably working.
Yeah, sometimes the work does get in the way of things.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm lucky because my wife trains too, so she gets it. Have you tried getting your wife into the gym with you?
She does go to New Breed.
Oh, she does.
And that's also another issue. She wants to go. I want to go. We have kids. No one wants the kids. We try to, share. Like, I'll watch the kids. She'll go. She'll watch the kids. I'll go.
What?
Seems to be being very selfish nowadays. So, she's training more than me. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah. I've had that experience too. My wife, sometimes it feels like she trains more than me too, man. Yeah, it's a tough one, man, because Obviously, they don't have the kids classes at the same time as the adults classes, but you think they would over there at New Breed. They got such a large mat space.
Yeah, you think they would, but they don't. So it kind of doesn't work out.
So did things get better for you over at the New Breed?
Currently, I'm trying to get out of my contract right now. So
Ooh, that's a tough
it
one.
seems to be kind of difficult because I guess I signed into a contract of a year, and I got about 4 months left. So
That's not so bad.
I can't pay double, and they won't let me out. So unless I buy out the contract, which is it's kind of too much right now to do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you only have a month left on it, you're good.
Well, no, it's 4 months left.
Oh, 4 months.
4 months.
4 months. Yeah, I mean, you'll be okay. But the thing is, you got to get in there and start training.
I'm trying to, brother.
You're gonna have to tell the wife, man, hey, I love jiu-jitsu too. It's not just for you. It's not just for you, baby. And we're gonna have to figure this out. Have you guys considered just making the kids sit there? How old are they?
Well, yeah, I've tried that. It's just, we have, I think I told you, 2 kids, and they're kind of smaller right now, so they kind of don't sit still.
Oh, trust me, I understand that, man. Our kids
concentrate, Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to concentrate when the kids are running amok.
And they're being loud when their coach is trying to, show technique. It's kind of, embarrassing. So I'd rather not deal with that.
Yeah. We've had our coach have to yell at our kids a couple of times because, they're rambunctious and they just can't, it's like you said, they just can't sit still. It's a huge problem. Yeah, it's too bad you guys don't have anybody to help you out.
I don't like I'm putting my kids off on someone else just so I can, do something for myself. Kind of like I'd rather not be like that and watching my own kids. So.
Yeah. So you guys tried doing it one like you do it one day and she does it another day?
I mean, been trying, but it hasn't been working out for me. So, and I don't want it to cause the issue in the relationship. So, I'm kind of just keeping my mouth shut right now.
Yeah, I hear that, man. I've been implementing this new thing where I just kind of I've been trying to act like I'm the boss around the house.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see how that works out. It hasn't been.
Yeah,
it hasn't been going too well. It has not.
Hey, good luck, brother.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
It doesn't go too well.
Good luck to us all.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking about it, man. I was like, man, sometimes you just got to stand up for yourself,
I like that attitude.
Yeah, and I stand up for myself a lot, man. I grew up, or at least over the last, 10 years, having it in my mind that I'm not going to get ran over in my relationship, and I don't know. I kind of have this attitude, I got to be willing to burn it down, if things just get too out of control, because, it's hard on a man when our wives, or if you're, if somebody just has a girlfriend or something like that, and they just, yell or disrespect. No man likes to be in his relationship where his wife is just, yelling at him or disrespecting him, And I think it's really,
exactly.
I think it's really important, for a dude to stand up for himself.
Right.
Not
100%, brother. 100%.
Yeah, not like disrespect
keep
your
fighting
lady.
a good fight.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to disrespect our women, call her a bitch or anything like that, Not unless you're messing around in the bedroom, of course. But if they're disrespecting, I think that they need to know that you're going to stand your ground, especially if you're not in the wrong, And I think for a lot of men,
sure, 100%.
Yeah, and I think a lot of men are good men, and I think a lot of men go above and beyond trying to make their women happy, and sometimes that's just not possible. It reminds me of an old saying. Actually, it's an old joke where they ask the question, "What's the secret to keeping your wife happy?" And if you're smart, that's a trick question, because nothing's gonna keep them happy or make them happy. That's just it never ends. And that's not to put down women or anything like that. We love our women. I mean, men go above and beyond. They'll they'll get down in the sewers, and they'll go out in the boats and fight the waves to provide for their women, and they'll do anything they can. And I think somewhere along the way that's gotten lost, where men forget their value. It's not so much that the women forget. I don't think they care. But I think men, sometimes we forget that we have value, and that every once in a while we just got to say, hey, you can't treat me like that. And so I've been implementing that standing up for myself, and I think it's good and healthy for a relationship. You know, I think your woman needs to know that her man's not a pushover. You know what I mean?
Exactly, brother. And let me tell you something. You're 100% correct. I love everything you just said. I think the man right now has lost a lot of our history. Men nowadays, brother, I see very soft, very soft. I see these guys who will buy their wife anything they want. They must eat every day. They play, happy couple in public. But I mean, I wonder how it is behind closed doors, because I know it can't be, all perfect just because you do whatever your wife says. And honestly, I think that's the worst. It creates a monster.
Well, you're right.
A monster that will be, and that monster will be uncontrollable and will eventually lead to a horrific ending. So I believe what you're doing is 100%. I'm going through the same issues you are right now, brother. So I'm going to say, don't stop fighting the good fight for all of us strong men out there.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, you could be a strong woman, but you cannot take the place of a man. If they want to be a man, then go ahead, date another woman. So it seems like women nowadays want to be men. I'm not saying anything bad about the women nowadays. I love women. I love my wife. I don't agree with the Western women's views right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about that. I think it's important to keep in mind that women have their own strength, and women, they complement a man. And I think you're right where you say in public things look all good and everything like that. And I've often wondered that too. Like, I see that couple at church, man, they just seem, and people probably think about us too, but you see that couple at church and like, oh my God, they just seem like they're so happy, and that guy's so friendly and she's so outgoing with all the other ladies and stuff. But I guarantee you, and I know because I am that dude at church that people probably think is so friendly. But I could tell you, at home, me and my wife, we have our fights. And all married people have their fights, And at the end of the day, if you got a good woman, I mean, if she's out there being with other men, that's not a good woman, obviously. But let's just assume that you got a good wife and she's loyal, right? And one thing I've been thinking about is women, they're always quick to point out our flaws, right? Can we agree on that? They always quick to point them out. And
oh yeah.
And because they're willing to point out our flaws, it's kind of like a built-in thing, I think, where they see our flaws before we do sometimes. And this is where they become good helpers. Because I can tell you this, my wife, she points out my flaws 24/7. But if I were to be 100% honest, if I were going to be true, my wife, most of the time, she's right in what she's saying. Like, she's not necessarily like sometimes I ask myself, like, where's the lie? And a lot of times there is no lie. Like, most of the time she's right. Like, if she says, you were lazy or like, when I was drinking all the time, she would always tell me, you drink too much. Man, you had like 4 beers in that last hour. Like, you're drinking way too fast. And she would get on me all the time about it. And she was right. I was drinking too much, or if I'm out there, or if I do something wrong, she's usually right about it. It's rare that my wife is wrong, but there are occasions when she is wrong in what she's saying. Like last night, she came home angry because she caught me napping at 8:00 at night. And you know, she was concerned because, you know, everybody was calling me, my daughter and my mom and her, and I wasn't answering because I went to sleep. And she says to me, you know what? I don't want you running at 3:00 in the morning anymore. No more. You running at 3 in the morning because look at you. You can't even stay awake. And she was kind of half right. I was tired because it's 3 in the morning. But I'll be damned if I'm gonna have my wife tell me, you know, that how I can take care of my body. If I want to run at 3 in the morning, I'm gonna run at 3 in the morning, and that's where the pushback has to come in. You know.
Oh yeah, there's gotta be there, brother. Because listen, if you wanted to live in a dictatorship, you live in another country. Okay, you go live in China, go live in Cuba. And you want to be told what to do at what time. So I don't agree with that at all, and I hope that you would stand your ground and keep running at 3 a.m. We're gonna have 2 if you want.
Yeah, if I can. What kind of stuff you got going on in your marriage? What is your biggest trouble? I've told you some of mine. Tell me some of yours.
Yeah, what I think what a lot of us men are going through right now is all very similar.
Yeah,
it's very similar to. I'm sure you have children. I forget how many you told me, but I have 2, and they're on the younger age, so it does make it difficult. So, like you said, I do understand when the wife says, you know, can you not do this? Can you not do that? Can you watch the kids? You got to watch the kids. I understand, like you said, we understand. But once it becomes that dictator, or they're trying to tell me not to go work out, I have the issue.
Yeah. Does she ever threaten like divorce or anything like that?
All the time, brother.
Oh,
all the time. Let me tell you, all the
time. Yeah, that's.
And I'll tell her, you know where the courthouse is, and I don't want to go that route. Okay, we have kids.
Yeah.
I'm religious. I don't believe in divorce, but I also don't believe in keeping someone in a marriage who doesn't want to be in a marriage and wants to be in a dictatorship. I don't tell her what she could do. I'm very open with her. You go work out at the gym. You go run. Hey, go run whenever you want. I will never tell someone not to work out. And that being healthy is one of the greatest parts of life. And we only have one life to live, brother, let me tell you. And life goes by fast. It's going by fast. We're almost halfway done with the year. I mean, I could have sworn it was just 2023 on New Year's Eve. Now it's almost June.
Yep.
So what I'm trying to say is that don't ever let anybody dictate your life in a negative way. And for you taking a nap, okay, yes, you were tired because you went on a 3 a.m. run. Like, we would all be tired if we went on a 3 a.m. run. If you went on a 2 p.m. run, you would have been tired also at 8 p.m., whatever the time you said you were napping.
Yeah.
So for her to tell you that you can't run, or she doesn't want you to run at 3 a.m., it's just, I don't know, brother. All I got to say is good luck to you.
Wow, don't get me wrong. I'm a lucky guy, man. Our problems aren't that deep. You know, we got a lot of we got a lot of love in our marriage, and you know, we got God in our marriage, which is really important. You know, we go to church together, and we have friends that we spend time with, and we have a really good marriage. Now, it's not a perfect marriage, obviously. I mean, every woman nags, you know, and
you got that right.
Yeah, but my wife is a loyal woman. She's a God-fearing woman, and you know, it a lot of times we have to try to remember sometimes, like, this is the woman that I chose. I made the choice to marry this woman, and if things aren't going perfectly, I have to take some responsibility in that. Or why do women act like dictators? Hell yeah. My wife acts like a dictator too. But that's where the pushback has to come. It's really important to me in my marriage that I never let my wife run over me. There's times when she's yelling at me, and sometimes I try to practice self-control, you know. But there's times when she's like, wah, and I'll just go, wah, back. You know, just like, what is your problem? But for the most part, I see it as a challenge to control myself. I see it like it's like a game. It's this game that I'm playing with myself. It's like something God's trying to teach me. Like, hey, are you gonna let every single time? Are you gonna pass the test ever? Because my wife, one thing I know for sure is that my wife is never gonna stop nagging me. There's not a magical thing I'm gonna tell my wife where she's just gonna open her eyes and like, oh my gosh, I've been doing it all wrong this whole time. I should have been respecting my husband. That's never gonna happen. So what I've been trying to do is implement this thing where, all right, I'm not like last night when she yelled at me, I didn't yell back. I just said to in my own head, I said in my head, I said, you know what? All right. You know, I was sleeping, whatever. I'm not going to defend myself for what? It's going to go on deaf ears. She's not going to care what my excuse is. She knows why I was asleep because she knows I'm tired from waking up so early. But I knew that if I gave her the response that she wanted or the response she was expecting, which was me to defend myself, then today when she called me to apologize would not have happened, right? Because when we respond in like or in kind, that gives them justification for their behavior and what they're saying to you or what they're doing. So I'm catching on that when my wife acts unreasonable, it's up to me to give the appropriate response. And sometimes the appropriate response is just shutting my mouth and letting her talk and letting her get it out of her system, whatever it is she wants to tell me. Because the moment that I start responding in kind and start yelling back, that's when all my credit or all my defenses go out the door. Where now she doesn't have to apologize for her behavior, because I acted the same way. And generally speaking, we don't have to apologize to somebody when they yell at us, or when I yell at them, because if they yelled at me back, you know, if I yell at my wife and she yells at me back and says some mean shit to me too, I don't have to apologize anymore, because now I'm justified and because she said a bunch of mean shit. So I totally get, you know, so the point I'm trying to make is, yeah, we stand up for ourselves. We give pushback, but it has to be done with strategy. It's got to be strategic for the outcome that we want.
100%.
You know, like,
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a certain outcome that I want. And generally speaking, me and my wife came across this quote one time. It's like, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy in your marriage? You know, sometimes we're right. Sometimes we're
I like that one. I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, I like that one too, man. You know, sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. But if I go to bed at night and I'm sleeping on my side of the bed all by myself, then guess what? I just lost. You know, because I'm still very attracted to my wife, and I love my wife, and I want her next to me when I go to sleep at night. And when we're not next to each other, I count that as a loss. It's an L for me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I feel you, brother. I just wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, me too, man. And I wish you the best of luck too, Frankie.
I know. Thank you very much.
And I appreciate you calling up and calling the show.
I appreciate you doing the podcast. Even though, you know, I was trying to watch, having a little buffering issues, but hey, keep going, brother.
Yeah, you know, and the whole thing, it eventually threw me off and it ended the show. It's not getting it. So I guess that means I got to figure out the internet issue here, you know. Yeah, you know, it's one challenge at a time, Frankie. And, you know.
One challenge at a time, you got to knock down, brother.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't give up. Am I right?
No, never give up.
We never give up, man. Frankie, man, thank you for calling, brother.
All right, you take care, brother.
You too, man.
All right, have a good one.
You too, bro. So that's Frankie. That's my favorite guy right there. Calling in the show, checking it out. We are no longer live anymore, so people won't know that the number's there. But I did want to run through a few more things. I have stayed off the coffee. So I haven't been drinking no coffee. That's 2 days. And I don't know if you guys can tell, man, but I'm already slimming down. I already look good. I'm going to need some ladies in there to comment on that. All right? Don't tell my wife. Just kidding. All right. So let's see what else we got. I'm building a barbecue grill. Not at my house, but at my mom's house. And, you know, when you don't know anything about building stuff, it can be really tough. I'm using cinder blocks. I'm putting it together. And I have no clue what I'm doing. I haven't started cementing yet. But I got lucky because I was going to build it and then build the barbecue grill. And luckily, I built the barbecue grill first. I decided, I'm going to build the barbecue grill first. Turns out the ignition switch is on the side burner. It's on the same part as the side burner. So if I would have built the brick thing first, there would have been no room for the side burner. And I wouldn't have been able to slide it in. So now I know specifically how much the dimensions have to be for the countertop and, for the brickwork. But man, I hate doing this type of stuff. So, it's not like I have to eyeball it because I don't know anything about putting this stuff together, and I don't have actual schematics to build this thing. So I have to do it myself. And you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to sit around and be, I don't know how to do it. I've never done it before, so I'm not going to do it. No, I got to get it done. Man, I'm looking chiseled. Look at that, guys. Look at this. Man, this turned into some USDA top choice right here. All right. What's next on the agenda? Yes, we're talking about being prepared. Being prepared. I have a real problem with this one. A lot of times I'm not prepared. I do a lot of things without preparing. For example, I'm building this barbecue grill. I didn't prepare for it at all. I didn't watch any videos. I'm just doing it on the cuff. Sometimes I do my jiu-jitsu classes that way. When I teach, I don't develop a plan. There's no plan of action whatsoever. I don't even know what I'm showing until I get there. And that's not good. That's horrible. I should have that thing planned out with details about what I'm going to show that day. I'm teaching 3 days a week. I got to make sure I know what I'm doing. I could easily put together like a lasso series where I'm just showing lassos all week, different types of lassos, and then do a little research and make sure I know all the steps to each one. But preparing would make the experience of my students so much better instead of just doing it off the cuff the way I'm doing. And I'm pretty sure they can tell. And I don't want to lose my students because I'm not preparing. That's ridiculous. My show, for example, this show, a lot of times I don't prepare. I'll prepare for my show right before I get going. And, I do okay. I want to know what that light is. That's such a weird light. You see that light right there? That's my guardian angel because it's not this light. That's a trip, y'all. Okay, because there's really nothing. There's nothing in here blinking. It's kind of weird. So I guess it is my guardian angel, huh? All right. So anyway, preparing for stuff. So why am I bringing this up? Well, I think like a lot of people, I can't be the only person. I think every day, how can I up my game? How can I level up with my finances? Right? How can I make more money? How can I build my business better? How can I achieve my goals that I have financially? So there's I believe that there's value in preparing for that, because one thing I know for sure is I never prepare for it. And I think that the proof is in the pudding. The fact that I'm essentially broke is a good indication that I'm not preparing. And I'm starting to realize that if I would just prepare for my financial goals and actually take action, execute those things that I write down and preparing, that I might actually get some results. And that's what I think is really important for this week. I'm going to focus on preparing. I'm going to start preparing for my jiu-jitsu classes. I'm going to start preparing for this show so that I can give you guys a better experience. and I'm going to start preparing for myself financially. Like, how am I going to build my business? If you guys didn't know, I have a business called Legal Doc Guy. It's where I do family law related stuff, doing forms and paperwork and basically writing petitions and, all basically what lawyers do. Only I don't represent people in court. Thank God too, because I wouldn't want to be stuck being a lawyer. But I did go to law school, so I have this business. And do I want to be doing the actual work? No, I don't. I hate doing legal stuff. And when I say I hate it, I mean I hate it. I get no joy out of it whatsoever. But I do love building stuff. I noticed I like to build. I built this podcast room. I wish all I did was just build podcast rooms. This is a great room. However, preparing for the show, the jiu-jitsu classes, preparing for myself financially for my business, it has to have what, in theory, because it's only a theory to me, but I think anybody would say, yeah, preparing, that's a good idea, the numbskull. Prepare for what you're going to do the next day. Prepare for what you're going to do that week. Prepare for what you're going to do that month and that year. Like, have some goals down on paper and execute them. I'm pretty good at executing, but what I'm not good at is at preparing. Like, actually knowing what it is that I'm going to do that day or that month, and what are my goals. Like, taking accountability measures to actually know what it is I was supposed to do that day, and did I get it done? What was I supposed to do that week? Did you get it done? I think that if you go week by week by week, planning out your week, so with the intention of moving the ball down the field, you're gonna have some results. And that's something I'm so poor at. I'm so poor at preparing and setting goals and actually keeping track of those goals and making sure it gets done. I've done this plenty of times where I'll sit down, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna prepare. I'm gonna get the paper, and I got the pen, I got the paper, and I'm going to actually write down what I'm going to do. It's so hard. It's actually, you got to think. You actually need to be able to, what is that light? I don't know what that light is, but something is blinking. And yeah, but anyway, preparation, guys, preparation. I'm going to let you guys know on Monday or the next time I do the show. I like to do this show more often. And maybe I'll do that. It doesn't have to, I have a guest coming on Monday. If you didn't know, I have a guest, Andrew Lim, professional bodybuilder, real cool dude, and trainer. So he, is a fitness coach, and the dude looks amazing. Dude's chiseled. And I've seen some of his clients. They went from dork to super dork, or like little dude to big buff dude. The guy's incredible. He must be an amazing coach, because I've seen some photos of some actual clients and real transformations. So make sure you check that out on Monday. He'll be on the show. That's Monday at 5 p.m. on YouTube. Anyhow, preparation. I'm gonna let you guys know on my next show, whenever that is, what I did to prepare for the week, for my business, for jiu-jitsu, and for this podcast. That's actually a lot of work right there. That actually requires you to sit down and take the time to plan, to write, to think, okay, what am I going to do? So, for example, for a jiu-jitsu class, I would have to write down, okay, well, I want to show some lasso. Why do I want to show lasso? Because today, one of my students wanted to learn some lasso stuff. So, off the cuff, I just started showing some lasso. There's a couple of lassos that I know off the back, like nothing, like really good. And there's some that I know very well, but I have to put some thought into remembering them because it's been so long. So preparing would look like, okay, I'm going to do this lasso drill, and then give it a name. So maybe it's a lasso, partner stands up, foot under the butt, sweep, something like that, where I take them over me and I take them to the side, get my underhook, come up in the side control, something like that. And I could write that down, like write down step by step what I'm going to do, step by step. What am I going to teach them step by step? If I'm going to show them a Kimura from a side control setup, I'm going to show them to, get that underhook and have my hand right here so that the arm is trapped. I'm going to staple the other arm, and then windshield wiper with a kickstand. And then I'm going to use my hand here to pull them up, and then put my other leg, my kickstand behind their back. And then I'm going to raise myself high so that way that my partner can't grab their gi pants. And I have their arm up high, and I could do it for both gi and no gi. Anyway, the point is I could actually plan it out by writing down each step. I could write down each step, and I know exactly what I'm going to show, and I'm not guessing. And because I took the time to write it out, I probably won't even need to refer to it I never do, but I never need to refer to stuff. But because I wrote it out, it'll be fresh in my mind, and I won't miss any steps, right? But I also, most importantly, will know what I'm going to show them that day, and not just trying to think of something up on the fly, because I don't like doing that. I do that a lot, where I'm just thinking up moves on the fly. And to a trained practitioner, that's going to be noticeable. Like, this guy just made this shit up real quick. And I do that a lot. I just make shit up. But I could do that at my level. With my experience, I can do that, which isn't all that high. But my intelligence level for jiu-jitsu is extremely high. So I usually don't have any of those problems. The show. All the time as I'm driving around or walking around or running or whatever I'm doing, working out, I come up with ideas for the show, things I would like to talk about. And then guess what happens? I forget them before I write them down. So perhaps I could walk around with a small notebook and write it down as I'm going throughout my day. And be like, oh, that would be good for the show. Oh, this might be good for next week's show. And then have all that written down, just like I do right now. Because actually, this is pretty helpful, having like a little checklist of things that I want to talk about. Unfortunately for me, I wrote this down very quickly. I didn't even actually take that much time to write it down. I wrote it down like 10 minutes before I started the show, and here I am doing the show. But that comes with just having a set of cajones, and with a little bit of intelligence and just willing to just go for it, right? But I'm sure a lot of people are like, man, this show fucking sucks. This guy didn't even prepare for his show. Like, why am I going to listen to this asshole? He's like, clearly doesn't take his own show seriously. And that's important, like, this is important to me, so therefore I should take it serious, right? I should be preparing. Maybe there's something in your life you're not preparing for. Maybe you're experiencing something I'm experiencing, where you can do better with preparing for whatever ambition you have, whatever goals you got or set for yourself. Instead of it just being sitting in here in your brain, just sitting here doing nothing, we can put it down on paper and prepare for it and actually execute. Execution is key, guys. Execution is key. See, execution is not really the problem I have. I'm willing to get on this mic and start talking out of my ass because I'm willing to execute. When it comes down to it, I'm willing to show up and do the show regardless of what's happening. Whether I prepared or not, the show must go on. We're doing it live. Fuck it, I'll do it live, right? As my man, I forgot his name, that newscaster guy. I forgot his name, but anyway, he's funny when he got all upset. He's like, fuck it, I'll do it live. I'll do it live. Yeah. Anyway, so preparation, that's something that we're going to be talking about a lot in the next coming shows. And I'll let you guys know exactly how I prepared and what I did. Actually, I kind of just told you how I'm going to do it, but I'll let you know whether I did it or not, right? Oh, and Legal Doc Guy, so I need to learn marketing and sales. Marketing and sales. Guys, if you have a business and you're not getting any money, you're not getting any clients, that means you don't have a business. You don't have your problem isn't with the execution of, the tasks at hand. If you're somebody who builds fences for a living, your problem isn't that you don't know how to build a fence. Your problem is that you don't know shit about marketing and you don't know shit about sales, assuming that you're not getting any new clients, right? If you build fences and you're building a new fence every fucking day, then I guess that means you know something about marketing and sales. But if you're not getting it, like myself, Legal Doc Guy is not bringing in. I did a commercial last week and it was cool. It was cute. Got some positive feedback from it, but it can't stop there. I got to get the clients in. That means marketing. And I got to sell. That means sales, right? I got to close the deal, right? Marketing and sales. If your business is struggling, stop focusing on the fence building and focus on the marketing and sales. Putting your business out there and then making the sale, learning, so doing the marketing, right? That generally has a lot to do with, putting commercials together, advertising on your platforms, whether they are Instagram, YouTube, the newspaper, magazines, whatever it is. I mean, whatever that people are doing these days, right? That means it's a lot of work in that. Me making that commercial was a lot of work. I don't know if anybody saw it, but it was me sitting in a chair with my mom's dog, sitting down at the house, and I found a cool background. I had to put the lighting, I had to set up the camera, and then I had to come up with the script. I had to memorize the script, and then I did the script and execute. I did like 100 takes and got it right. This is all stuff I had to do, and then I had to go home and edit the video. I had to edit it, put it into my software that I have, and put in, do all the editing, which I had to learn. There's a lot of work that goes into it, right? And then I had to post it on the different platforms that I have. It's a lot of work. It's marketing, right? But then you also have to be able to drive people in. So you got to put in some good content, right? Stupid fly. You got to come up with some stuff. And I don't know anything about marketing. So I'm just telling you what I know and what I did, right? It didn't bring in a single client. I'll be straight up and honest with you. It didn't bring in anybody. But it was still a learning experience. I still learned a lot from it. I learned some editing skills. I learned some production skills, producing skills, some writing skills. There's a lot of stuff that I got, a lot of stuff that I gained, even though I didn't get a client yet, right? I haven't got a client yet, but I still learned quite a bit. So marketing and sales, when somebody actually does call, saying what needs to be said to close the deal. Because you know how to build a fence. I know how to do legal work. You know how to do whatever you know how to do. It's not, building the fence is not the problem. It's bringing in through marketing and then sales, saying what needs to be said to close the deal. A lot of times I quote people too high and they just don't have the money for it, which means that I need to make sure that I'm providing the value, making sure that I'm conveying to them what the value is and why they should pay me the money I'm asking for. That's the sales part, right? And that's going to come with experience. So there's that. We're getting kind of late here, guys. I'm having plans with my wife, so I'm going to just talk for a few more minutes here. What else did I want to talk about? And so just quickly, we're men. Some of you are women, but I'm really just talking to the men here. And I guess we could talk to the girls too. It doesn't really matter. But I'm just assuming mostly men. If anybody's watching this, it's going to be the men. The opinions that we have about ourselves, the confidence level, whether or not we believe we can do something. I think that's critical. It's critical for any endeavor you take on. You have to believe in yourself. And when I say believe in yourself, you have to believe that you can do it. You have to have a positive opinion about yourself. You have to believe that you can do what it is that you say you can do. And how do we form belief? I believe we form belief by doing. So the more I do something, the more I believe I can do it, right? This podcast, when I first started this out, man, I doubted whether or not I could do this or not. I still have those doubts, as a matter of fact. But I just believe that I'm going to do. If I can just believe that I'm going to do, I know I'm going to do. I didn't say I was going to do and do well, but I believe I'm going to do. And that because I do, I will eventually do well. I'll eventually put out good content. I'll eventually have these shows so well crafted and designed that people will actually watch them. That opinion alone right there is what gives me the push I need, the self-motivation, or the discipline. Sometimes we do need a little motivation, right? I don't like to rely on motivation because I'm rarely ever motivated to do these podcasts. But the discipline of knowing that I made a commitment to something. I made a commitment to this. I made a commitment to this show. I did not start it and put myself out there just to fucking quit. Fuck that. I'm not quitting. I'm going to put out a show. My live stream didn't work. I really wanted to do a live stream. Didn't work. Oh, wow. I'm going to have to figure it out. I got to figure out the internet issue here. That just is what it is. But my opinion of myself is that I will figure it out. I'm not going to my opinion of myself tells me that you're not the dude that's going to quit. I'm building habits of not quitting because I had a whole lifelong habits of quitting. And you know what? Most people, once they learn to be quitters, and I learned at a young age, I learned to be a quitter in about fifth grade, I think. The first time I quit Pop Warner football, my parents let me quit. And I learned from that moment and that day on to be a quitter. I should have never done that, but I did. And I spent the rest of my life being a quitter because it's a learned behavior. That was my opinion of myself, right? But I'm forming a new opinion. And it's hard because, when you have these opinions of yourself and you're like going in a spiral and you're spiraling, it's like a whirlpool, you're just kind of stuck in there and you're never going to get out. You have to really yank yourself out of there. And the only way you're going to yank yourself out that I'm aware of is by willpower and setting a new habit of being a winner. How do you set a habit of being a winner? Well, you set a new habit of the thought process that you have, being positive. Earlier today, I told my wife, she asked me if I wanted to do something that I didn't want to do, but I was like, I would love to do that. Today, I had to build that barbecue, deal with the barbecue grill, and I didn't want to do it. But I told myself, I literally told myself mentally, have a different attitude about it. Just follow the directions step by step. You'll figure it out. Just get to it and be glad that you get to do that today. I used something from Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate once had a saying where he said, we was talking about attitude, and he's like, when I feel like like some people have the attitude, I don't want to do this today. And he says, you change those words to, I get to do this today. And then I told myself, man, at least you're not in jail. Remember when you were in jail, you had that thought, man, I wish I could be out, not in jail. And here I am, I'm not in jail. So, I should be thankful for that. Gratitude. A little gratitude in your life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on gratitude, the opinion that I have about myself, changing my identity, my self-identity, what I think of myself. I don't give a... I do care what other people think in the sense of like, you should brush your teeth and wear your clothes properly and stuff. But fuck other people. It's how you feel about yourself. Changing how you think and what you think about yourself. It starts with you. It's got to start with you. Because you're not going to change the opinions of others and how they see you until you change how you see you. And the way I see myself right now, dude, I see myself as the baddest dude that's about to take the internet by storm. I'm about to be the baddest motherfucker out there. You guys heard of Joe Rogan? I've heard of Joe Rogan. But now people are going to hear about Rambo because that's what I want. I want it. My buddy wants to be a champion today. Michael Martinez, the Honduran warrior. He says he's going to be the world champion, first Honduran world champion. I believe him. And believe me when I say that I'm going to take the internet by storm. I'm going to be the new man. There's a lot of dope-ass dudes out there, and I like those guys, but they better watch the fuck out because I'm coming, and I'm going to figure this out. My brain is going to figure this out, and I'm glad that you guys are all here on this journey with me. I want you to know that I love you. I care about you. I care about what you do, and I care about your future. I'm sorry that I apologize that the podcast did not go live today. I am going to figure it out. I want to say it's going to be fixed by Monday, but who knows? Because I don't have any control over the internet here, so I got to figure that out. I got to figure it out. But where there's a will, there's a way, guys. So that being said, make sure that you guys have a nice weekend. Try not to drink too much. Don't drink and drive. Don't be that asshole who drinks and drives and kills somebody. That's stupid. Because if you are that guy and I know you, I'm going to talk shit about you the rest of your life. Use an Uber. Use a Lyft. Those guys are out there. They need to make money tonight, and people want to stay. And you know what? Just don't do it. Don't drink and drive, guys. All right, guys. So that being said, don't forget Sunday is church. Make sure you guys make it to church. And that's about it. Kiss your kids and your wives. Good night. And before you go work out, I think I'm gonna go work out after my wife goes to sleep tonight. I think I'm gonna go hit the weights, try to build these muscles, yo. I'm telling you guys, look at me. I look fucking great, man. It's only 2 days no coffee and eating a little better. Look at me. I'm already looking handsome. Look at this guy. Keep your ladies at home, guys. Just kidding. Looking for you. I got a wife and I love her. Later, guys. Peace.